Well, hey Aquarius, how about a message from your metal dog? I'm doing fixed signs today. So you are up next. Let's see what all of us stubborn fixed signs have going on here. So I have a reading. I've picked the Good Tarot to act as a kind of mood setting, tone setting oracle for the reading. And then we'll pull 4 cards about what's coming in for you and a little advice and information from the tarot, and then I'll clarify that. Okay. And then I'll walk my dog after that, okay? All right. My dog is like, it's getting dark. That's what flashlights are for. Okay. So, Aquarius, we have the King of Water. The deep emotional, something deep and emotional here. He's such a sweet king, welcoming this little beautiful fish. Kind of, yeah, it's a wisdom of age. And we often say of Aquarius that you are humanitarian, but also ahead of everybody. That kind of old soul amongst us. And yet this fellow is beautifully, very, very aware of all that is going along in his kingdom. He tends to be a little bit reticent to open up about his feelings, not because he isn't deeply intelligent emotionally. All right, what's going on here? Oh, okay. So there's some kind of, we've got the Hierophant and the Tower. So there's some kind of dramatic ending to some kind of structurally institutional. So this could be going on in the world, could be going on in your life. The Hierophant represents marriage. So your marriage could be ending. There's some kind of shock to the system, to structure here that that is excuse me, we got the squeaky toy. How'd you find that? I'm such a mean mommy. Okay, I love you. All right, yeah, so the King of Water here. So this is you from your emotional depths. The King of Water is very sweet, but there's some kind of big structural change happening to you or in the world. Okay, this could be happening in many levels. The Hierophant is like the Pope, is the yes-no. Something dramatic is happening. All right, well, that's exciting. Let's see what the tarot wants to tell you. So the first card is going to be about what's coming in. It could be this tower. This tower may have already happened. I feel like you're like standing in the ashes of this tower having come down because you're ahead of the rest of us. So you're on the timeline of the story of the world. Aquarius is like, okay, the apocalypse has happened and here's what we do now. We depend on you for that, don't we? But let's see. What is coming in for Aquarius? This doesn't have to be a big political message or collective dramatic message. It could be just like a little surprise that happened in your life. It doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't feel bad. You seem to be handling it with the grace of the King of Cups here. Okay. That's so interesting. Okay. You have a collaboration coming in. You're building something. You're making something real in the world from your vision, and you are doing this with others. This is the same card Taurus got. Maybe we're all going to get the 3 of Pentacles. All of us fixed signs. Okay, we will clarify that. It's very green, very springy. So timing-wise, perhaps we're looking at doing this together in the spring, where you're going to be participating in a collaboration, Aquarius. All right. How to handle this? 4 of Discs. Four of Discs, such a neat Four of Discs. It's usually about, so it's the card that comes after the three, but sometimes the Four of Discs is about kind of hoarding and controlling what you have. And so the advice of it is to change that, to move from grabbing hold of a little so that you can be like this butterfly and just transform. I also see in this card how this person's in this tent and they have this beautiful little world inside of it. And then there's this big giant butterfly relative to this person out here. It's like they're like in a tiny little world within the real world. I'm really curious to clarify that. So in order to, it's almost telling me that, yeah, like this tower has already happened and now you're going to rebuild, but it's telling you to start small, to start in your little home. And that in here, this beautiful garden, you can see there's like a garden in here that this person is caring for, that this is also going to be mirrored in the larger world somehow. We'll see. That's really cool. What you don't know, but the tarot wants you to know, the Empress. Wow. More of a sense of, yeah, this feels like a new earth reading to me. It's not, I mean, if there's something happening in your personal life, like a beautiful new thing is coming in. This is like abundance. This little project here isn't so little. It's the universe. It's the new earth. This is, wow. I got this for you last time, didn't I, Aquarius? Like, you have like a big job to do when I read your cards. You're a part of something that's what we need after the structures of society fall. Here, that's what I keep reading in your cards. And I feel called to this a little bit myself as Aquarius rising, and my North Node is in Aquarius. But wow, very powerful, magical, autonomous Empress here. Like, she doesn't need anybody to reproduce, to cultivate the new earth. I love you, doggy. Okay, and your strength is your card. One of your cards, the Fool. Isn't it one of your cards? I always think it's like Aries, like the youngest sign, but I believe the Fool is Aquarius, the beginner going out on a journey full of faith, just carrying a light load. And there's that first flower of spring. I am truly a mean human torturing my dog. On the bottom, and I already saw this. Wow, okay. There's 3 cards on the bottom. There is some anxiety and being up in your head that's going along with this. There is, again, the King of Cups. You are the water bearer, Aquarius, and although you're an air sign, your association with water is well known. But I feel like it's your heart that you are pulling into this here as you go on this is a solitary journey. I see this in a couple of ways. You on your own, it doesn't mean that you're alone, it just means that you are going inward for the light, for the wisdom. So there's a couple of images of you setting off on a spiritual journey and a very new beginning. And you're leaving, I don't know, I don't know what you're leaving, this tower that's happened to the great structures of society, to the norms, the rules, how it should be. Okay, let's clarify this. Interesting and very powerful reading. We'll start with what's coming in. It looks small, it looks fun, it looks like you 3 are working together, putting the pieces together. Each one has a piece of the puzzle. It's definitely a message of not going it alone, although there is a lot of solitary energy here. I mean, the King of Cups is here twice, which is a person who is emotionally mature but also quiet about how they're feeling because they have a bigger concern at heart. And I can definitely see that. And then I see this kind of you making this little world, and that it's a reflection of the larger world. And then this gets confirmed as like, wow, the Empress, like the full new earth is what's happening here. But you're definitely in some, I mean, who wouldn't be having a 9 of Swords? Like, that's a great depiction, isn't it, of anxiety? A tower has happened. We're all kind of feeling this right now, like the world, is it ending? Because it's not working the way we could always just take for granted that the planet and all the systems of our society were going to work for our whole lives, and then we just die, and we don't have to worry about it. That is not true. We have learned otherwise. Okay, 3 of discs. Let's clarify. 9 of Cauldrons, 8 of Cauldrons, 7. Wow. How do we get that? You are on an emotional journey. It's almost like going backwards. You're revisiting something in order to, that's so interesting, because it goes 9, 8, 7, and 9 is like wish fulfillment, and then 8 is the lack of it, and 7 is like illusion and confusion about where to go. Lots of choices, lots of projections. And so what it feels to me like is that a part of this collaboration that you're going to be doing, it makes me think about being a historian, that you're looking back at how you got here, and that's a part of the project. Your Mercury's just gone into retrograde. Venus, planet of love and cups, but also finances, she's been in retrograde. So it's not surprising to kind of have an opportunity to look back over something emotional. And that's definitely what we see here. You're doing collaboratively. Okay, so how to handle this with this beautiful 4 of discs. Making this beautiful little world in your own little tent, a little garden, and how this is a reflection maybe, or a microcosm of the larger New Earth project. So let's see if we can find a connection here. 9 of Pentacles, another 9. This is again that solitary imagery. It's so much what I see in this 4 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is all about you're completely self-sufficient. You have made a beautiful, safe home. So it's solitary. You're looking much like the Hermit to your own, much more practical wisdom in a Pentacles. But often the 9 of Pentacles, the woman has a bird of prey that is masked, meaning it's not looking for truth out there. It's looking, so anytime we see blindfolds, here we can see that. An ending. There's an ending. Definitely we have seen that with the Tower, and with the world ending, there is also the world beginning. You can see all of the icons for the, usually all the fixed signs are on the world, but here we have actually the wands, the swords, the cups, and the pentacles. So that makes me think of having everything that you need in your little home. You have all the pieces, kind of like the magician has all the tools, but as the world ends, you have everything that you need to begin again, which is reiterated by the Fool, which would be the next step, the new beginning. Okay, And thirdly, the Queen of Swords. A part of this process of making this safe home, building anew from the ashes of this tower, something structural has fallen. And a part of what the Queen of Swords gives you is the clarity to eliminate what no longer works in this little world, whether it's just your home or on a larger scale, the New Earth project that we're all involved in right now. Okay. It's funny, I'm doing fixed sign readings today on the third Saturday of the month now, and my little Taurus dog is really ready for his walk. And if you don't know, Taurus is also a fixed sign. And he's giving me a run for my money here. We're going for a walk, but not yet. Did I already say that? Okay, we're clarifying the Empress. The Empress here. This is a fantastic, gorgeous Empress. I love that light that she's holding. First I thought it was like a daffodil, but it's a wand. It's a wand with which she makes the world anew. Okay. Both these decks are so powerful and full of magic. Really. Okay. So we add to this the Page of Rods. This is what the tarot wants you to know that's hidden from you. Young perspective, outside perspective. I say the queer perspective in my readings. And we could also say Aquarius, that is your perspective. The beginner's eyes, the one that sees things and like you get called weird. Your fashion reflects that. If I were to assign Page of Rods to any sign, it would be to you. There's a burden that has to be put down. This is whatever is ending and whatever you need to, that you finished something. And there's the truth, the sword, Ace of Swords. Okay, this is what is hidden from you. Yeah, this is about the tower, the thing that has fallen around you. And there's somebody young and queer, or from a different place, who sees your world from the outside. And they see that you need to put it down, whatever it is. They have this truth to bring you. And when you put this burden down, this incredible Empress is here for you to be, or to join, or to help, to support in the making of this gorgeous new world. This could be on any scale of your life, just your everyday life, or in a larger political, global sense. Okay. Your strength as you go forward to do this is the beginner's mind, which your Page of Rods also has. The Fool just sort of leaps off the edge. Everybody's like, oh, don't do that, you're crazy. But there is a faith in the Fool. Yeah, she's an interesting one. You can see that she is transparent. Like you can see through her dress to the mountains, to the sky. She's looking at that daffodil blooming. Let's see what's blooming, what's all around her feet. There's like little mushrooms or toadstools growing around her feet. That's kind of like magic, fairy magic. And she's standing on what we would guess from this is a floating island above this other land. It's a very alien landscape here. And the dog usually represents like the be careful, or let's sleep, that kind of impulse, but also that we worry about the Fool. So this is a strength. So let's clarify this. The beginner's mind. The Fool again, another representation of the Fool, walking away from the fire, from the drama, from, the Fool is the baby putting their hand in the fire. But there's a new journey here I just see that Aquarian ability to just be up ahead on the path. And it's funny because remember we got this 987 of cauldrons, like this kind of looking at the past. It's not typical of an Aquarian nature to look at the past, unless perhaps you're looking to the past to rediscover what we need for the future. And then you have this idea, this concept, and you wait for the rest of the world to be ready for it. And that's why Aquarians can feel lonely. There's the Hierophant again, the High Priest. Interesting. Let me pull one more. Karma. Ascension. This is the card of judgment. If you've done everything right, you get to go to the next level in the video game of life. Your new journey is blessed by the High Priest, the decisive one. But we can see the ending all over this reading of something that was fundamental and structural and that shaped your life or the world, and it's over. And you're going on a new journey. Yeah. And there's the Empress again on the bottom of the deck. Abundant, nurturing, in nature. There's victory with her. You are going to be victorious. Nature is going to be victorious. And their last card is the gift of your heart, the message that comes from your heart. Listen to that message. From there you will be victorious, right? It's the King of Water, what he knows in his heart, what you know in your heart. The little thing that you're making collaboratively is a part of a bigger thing that is needed. And so trust your individual journey, because it's going to take you and all of us with you to empowering and supporting and this Empress that represents the new earth, this new world, as the one that we're in and the one that you're in has ended. And it's time to move on. And that this is actually, strangely, the High Priest or the Hierophant is blessing this, even though the whole structure that has empowered them is falling, is over. They're also he's still saying, I give you my blessing. Go. Like that bird. Wow. And this is a journey this is a Virgo card, but it's coming in here for you, like the Fool, and like the Nine of Pentacles that we saw, that this is a solitary journey where you go by the light of what you know to be true. And whatever you're going to make with others will be the microcosm of the larger picture, the larger world, the global vision that we're moving on to from this ending. People are rising from the dead here to the ascending. And I see these really cool divine beings and all the stars blessing this. Very cool. All right, Aquarius, another big message for you, but it could just be about your life, but trust your journey. There is a victory and an abundance and a message of love that either you bring or that is coming to you, or both. All right. Have a beautiful day.